Frogun. I put it at the bottom of
Oh,
the
okay.
list, but it's not because it's a bad game. It's
Mm,
just compared to the other games, there were certain things that I got a little bit more out of it.
right.
But Frogun was actually super fun. You obviously recommended the game, and
Oh,
for
yes.
people who don't know what it is, it's a platformer game. It's very reminiscent of Crash Bandicoot to me, especially in terms of the layout for the game. And I just absolutely loved it for just relaxing and playing a game where there wasn't very much thought needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I still haven't finished it. Not finished it yet. I still haven't come back to it. I've got up to the snow level, that particular section, which I
Ooh,
get a very Mario 64 vibe
yeah.
off. Like, just even the way the puzzles work with the sliding, it's very Mario. Vario? That's not a word. Very Mario 64-ish.
I
So,
I think that's my favorite realm of the game is definitely the snowy area. I think that's where some of the trickiest platforming comes in.
oh, 100%. Like, it makes you think a little bit more. Like, I think every level in the game has its difficulties, especially with the
Hmm.
racing challenge in it, where you got to race an NPC. I think that's very, very cool. That mixes it up. Um,
Can
but
you?
once you get past Kiki, the spider, that's the spider boss that I had the glitches on, unfortunately, for
Yeah,
three
I've
attempts.
I've contacted the developer because even on the brutal boss rush mode, there is a bug with the what it's like the second to the last boss, of course, and it causes his wave of attacks, his bottom wave attack to get too tall for you to jump over, and so it messes up your run for the last boss. And
Oh wow.
because just in case you get hit too many times, because even the last boss has this really weird attack at the end, and I kind of I exploit it because it just doesn't really register that well. I didn't tell him about that part because I don't know if it's just maybe my timing sucks with it or something, but apparently you can just stand on the corner and avoid everything. So I'm not really gonna
Okay,
I'm not
I'll
gonna
have to keep
complain too
that
much
in
about
mind.
that. Um,
Sneaky, sneaky strategies.
yeah, when I saw someone, because I was looking it up, I'm like, man, there's got to be a consistent way to do this, and maybe I'm just doing something wrong. So I looked up on YouTube, and no one was doing it. They were just standing on the corner to avoid the attack.
Wow. Okay. You see,
I'm
that
like,
just shows as well simple strategies.
yeah.
Like it's amazing.
Well, it just feels like the attack does. I mean, what you need to do to avoid attack just doesn't feel like it's supposed to work correctly for some reason. And I don't even know. I don't know if it's intentional. I don't know if it's just another thing that's broken. And that's just an unfortunate thing about Frogun. There's a lot of stuff there that is broken. So I can definitely understand how someone can feel discouraged if they're playing Frogun and something's not working correctly, and then might get paranoid about other stuff not working. So yeah, it's
Yes.
definitely a game that needs a lot of work. I think the developer is definitely not done. I hope the developer doesn't think everything is fixed because the way he made it sound like that everything in the game was working properly, but it's not. And unfortunately, I hate this. Hate to say that because he seems really nice, and I don't know how quickly he's going to jump on another patch, but hopefully he listens to a lot more players and looks into what's going on in the game so we can get a very refined and definitive version of Rogun compared to when it was first released.
Yeah, because it's an incredible game
Oh,
too.
yes.
I have to say, it would have got higher on the list if there wasn't other games from
Mm-hmm.
this year that kind of topped it. But as a game goes, I think it's great. If you just want a casual playthrough, like it does have speedrun challenges and obviously other challenges within the game.
And so, other than the bugs and glitches, what would you improve for in the game?
But I feel like the controls are a little bit not clunky, but like certain buttons. Have you? I don't know. You obviously play with a controller, yeah. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you noticed that like certain buttons just double the same action? Like there's two jump buttons when there only needs to be one.
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah.
Like I feel like that could be improved. There's no need to have the double buttons. You
Mm-hmm.
could easily just simplify the controls, which means that those two other buttons could be programmed to something else that could be completely new to the game or just not used at all. But I just feel like that was kind of poor.
Yeah.
It just seemed like, okay, well, I'm not that bothered about the control scheme, which
Okay.
is kind of important. Well, I think it's important for set players,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everybody plays slightly different. Um, but yeah, I thought just that kind of let it down, and then the small little glitches for me, those were the two main issues.
I know whenever I jump back on Frogun, sometimes I get confused every time I jump back on after a while. After which usually happens with video games, but with Frogun, with there be multiple buttons for the same thing, it kind of throws me off because I'm like, oh shoot, is this jump or is this or is this zip
Yeah,
line?
I keep getting confused with that too. I'm the same because it's a completely different control scheme to what you'd be used to in a normal game.
hmm
But it was a good game though. I think it's a fantastic
Oh yes.
platformer. It's very well done.
I hope if he does make a sequel, I hope he learns from his mistakes in the game and improves on it for a second. Personally, I'm hoping he goes beyond the Frogun, the frog gun or whatever, and goes with like does like other animals like maybe other amphibians like turtles, snake guns, stuff like that. I think there's a wide spectrum of what he could do in terms of gameplay mechanics and just platforming in general. There's just so much he could do.
Yeah, I mean, like you have the option to pick multiple hats, so why not multiple guns? That makes total sense.
He gets, maybe you get to change your shirt and pants and I'll have an expansive attire to collect.
Yeah, I mean that'd be kind of cool. It would keep the player base.
So let's just hope this developer continues to do great things. I'm definitely paying attention to him right now.
Yeah, no, he's definitely. I think for what he's done so far, bang up job. It's very good.